Alright, welcome back to Rogue Trader. It's been like a month or so since I last played. Give myself a nice little break because we finished Act 2 and then I wanted to play some other games in the meantime. So I finished up Project Wingman and making some progress on a bunch of other things. And since then, the DLC has come out. What the DLC is basically a new companion, comes with a new base class and a new advanced class. And then she comes with some, basically, content for, basically, companion quests and such. We have made... We're continuing on and including the DLC here. You know, usually you can start a new game, right, and have DLC all the way. But this one seems to be mostly, like, kind of, like, side integrated into the campaign. It's not, like, a separate area, per se, but it expands on, say, the Void Ship. Basically, there's a lot more internal content in the Void Ship now, and we're going to be seeing how that goes. But I figured it's not that bad since we are at the start of a new act. At the very least, we should get, you know, the actions of the new character in this new act, and I don't feel like restarting a campaign because I want to actually finish one for for once here. So, the new classes, we can't see anything here. We don't have a new companion with us at the moment, but I'm sure they'll join us shortly. I basically just went through, looked at inventory, refamiliarized myself what we're doing. I still do not have any boots for my main character, which is really funny. By Act 3, I don't have any boots, but, you know, it is what it is. And just kind of, you know, refamiliarize myself with the game. Our plan is to continue on as need be, see when we're going to get the new character introduced, and then we'll look at the class there. From what I saw, I'm only really interested in the base class, the Bladedancer. And the advanced class is something interesting, but not with any of the builds I've made right now. It basically focuses on damage over time, which is usually how or not usually, but is how I've built Heinrichs on one of my friends' campaigns. Is, you know, focusing more on his Biomancer abilities and such. And it would really benefit that. And I think it makes damage over time work a lot better from what I've seen. There's just a lot of buffs to it that... Because you run into the issue here of, like, for the most part, you kill a lot of things in one, maybe two turns. So damage over time effects are not actually as good as you would think because how slow combat actually is. It seems to buff it. I'm not sure if enemies are going to get much stronger in this act or what's going on, but we've not built Heinrichs like that. We've built Heinrichs in a way that I've done a lot of builds that are not, like, they're off meta by far. So, you know, we're doing Heinrich's Arch-Militant, whose goal is to spam out warp speed and just basically be able to spam these things repeatedly. You know, we've got Bounty Hunter Pascal, but I'm using Bounty Hunter in a trap way. You know, just some weird things, but yeah, I don't really have any damage over time based characters right now, so probably will not be looking at Executioner unless we get some other new companions. For the new character, I have looked around in the, like, new abilities and that stuff and just read through them all. The Bladedancer base class seems absolutely fantastic, and then I think the natural lead for that is to go into Assassin because it scales off of agility. So it'll be nice, we'll have more than one Assassin on our team. You know, a ranged and then a melee Assassin, which is fun. So, that is what the plan is here. Alright, let's explore around here, see if there's anything new. I kind of doubt it, but, you know, might as well see if we can get any passive perception checks. But yes, last we left off, you know, we had the whole meeting with the Grand Lord Inquisitor. So in the meantime, basically, I've gone down a Warhammer kick and have acquired a lot more information and context about the entire setting and system. And, yeah, honestly, absolutely crazy how much leeway not only Heinrichs himself has given us, but, Calcazar, because, you know, he definitely has the superseding authority. In fact, honestly, Heinrichs has comparable authority just as a, you know, well-respected Inquisitor. So the fact that he was, like, kind of basically letting us do what we were doing, was, you know, basically entirely his discretion, very much. And also was probably good foreshadowing of there being a interesting relationship with Calcazar and Theodora, because why would Usually you wouldn't stand, or you'd at least bring to question some of the actions going on here. Alright, let's talk to some people here. Oh, Gilead. At last you have left your ornate cage. For many a turn I have sought to meet you, and yet your servant, the one who is like the silver-haired Abelard, but twice as young, has no favor or request for the child Asun. Take me to a place where the hearing of others will not steal the words intended for you. So his daughter. Abelard's granddaughter, not daughter. While you were mending the wounds of this world left by a Twisted One's attack, I was able to discover, no, not Kurodash's fate, merely traces of it. As Muran found sanctuary under the boughs of Little Sands Forest, so did my other kin find refuge in a system known as Atlas Reach. We must make a journey there with haste before new dangers destroy the witnesses who could show me the way to a lost Kurodash, whose fate remains shrouded by the stars. The knowledge is the soul thread that may lead me to truth, Ilantak. I ask why your metal-winged ship take me along the thread that bears, take me along that thread before it tears under the strain of time and circumstance. How are you able to contact them? No, I did not contact the Asyani. I have no means to do so, but I've had enough time to explore the stone jungle of your world while you were preoccupied with urgent matters. The path to outcasts has taught me to observe and listen to the world around me. In this case, the Thwong's a monkey in their port. Errant conversations, rumors, chance words, like parts of a speckled mosaic, they come together to form a hazy image. My kin were seen in Atlas Reach, and now all I have to do is pull a web of communications and possibilities to uncover whatever is concealed from the unseen guy. Give me the coordinates, and I shall take you. You will? Thank you, Ilantak. If the path deed takes me to truth, I will be indebted to you, a rare happening between our kind. She really is, for an Aldari, very, yeah, again, mostly due to circumstances. But, no. They have a bit of superiority complex, just because they're, you know, near immortal beings that have been alive. They're like, what, one of the second races in the galaxy, basically. I just want to make sure recording is working. Seems to be doing so. Great. Alright, back to leaving the door. Let's see if we can talk to anyone. Aristocrat. Let's see if Cassidy have anything to say. Nope. Okay, well, let's see if Pascal has anything to say. He had also the... No, he doesn't have the AI unit. Appearance is called Slightest. Okay, we've already seen that before. And last but not least, see Heinrich Archelaus has anything to say. Thanks, Heinrich. Your ship, how may I be of service? Nothing. Okay, cool. Well... Great. Alright. Let's get out of here, I guess. I don't have anything to say. It's been whoever knows how long. What's the difference here? Interesting. So this takes us to this menu. Cool. Let's go to the actual bridge, because I imagine we have a bit of stuff to check in on. Sorry, my nose sounds a little bit stuffy. Just woke up, so. Okay. To another compartment. So yeah, this is something I heard about, is that we have like expanded void ship things. Alright, let's see if anyone has anything new to say.
Lord Captain?
No. Actually, let me just
Lord
quickly
Captain?
guess who.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
Let's not do that.
Of course. Lord Captain.
Lord Captain, Lord Captain, Lord Captain. It's a little weird to have an act transition and just have like almost enough. Oh, here we go.
You want to talk about what happened after the Magna Excessio?
Um... Because I do understand it, right? But what if he has something that I'm missing, actually?
An explanation? Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar deemed it necessary, after observing the new rogue trader von Valancius in a social setting, to have a private conversation with you. The lack of warning is used to dispose the subject towards a more direct conversation and less prepared answers. You emerged whole and unscathed from the encounter. Trust me, that counts as more than a happy ending to a conversation with my mentor.
I figured.
And you have been given a gift. An official demonstration of his opinion of you and your activities.
Oh, thanks for the recap,
Find
Heinrichs.
anything to add to that?
It has been a couple months. Maybe not a couple months,
this
but...
again. As I see it, the Lord Captain would do better to focus on his immediate duties than to continue ruminating on what is...
Cool. Alright, well, at least he has something to say. How's it going, Vigdis? Remind me who you are. Okay. Cassia. Heinrich.
Words cannot describe how boring I have.
Okay. Alright now. This is a new profile picture. The Infernus Master nonchalantly likes a Yos Iho stick from a serval cutter and spreads his arms in a welcoming gesture. Heinrich Montag, at your service. He smells cinders and... Yeah, I mean, I figure it's like a cigarette, but better. Don't know how... Is it low? Io? We'll say low. His face is sooty, and his belt is laden with a number of heavy tools. You would be taking him for a laborer for more for the greasy and ragged officer's uniform. Who are you? Humble laborer in charge of putting out fires and dealing with emergencies. Everyone calls me an Infernus Master. I guess it's because I answer them with my life. What kind of emergencies do you deal with? Oh, there are many. Accidents due to external factors, for example, hits from enemy guns or collisions with hollow objects and wreckages of other ships. Plenty of internal causes as well, from system malfunctions and short circuits to problematic cargo. A couple of years ago, something blew up in the hull, nearly burned it to a crisp. And there's sabotage. The Vortier snake did a lot of damage to the ship. Other questions? How'd you come to be in service? Not the usual way. My ancestors wronged yours and were appointed Inferni as a result. Hard labor, deadly risk, plenty of opportunities to atone. Those criminals have been dead for generations, but we are still serving their time. Maybe we'll find redemption one day. Gotta love intergenerational prison sentences. Alright, what's the Infernus Guild? What interests you most? Our duty, our state-of-the-art equipment, or our vibrant traditions? Yeah. Which, you know, he means he has none of those. How's the organization? It's been different brigades according to duties. Heart of the guild, of course, are our liquidators, tough guys. There's a steel, put out fires and pull people from the flames. Others are repairmen, dealing with problems like jammed doors, etc. And there's the walking inspectors, who check the decks to make sure nothing is blocking any passages or access communication lines. That's probably the comfier gig of there. State-of-the-art equipment sounds interesting. That was a bit of a stretch. Sorry, there's no state-of-the-art equipment. The risk of ruin you can get in a fire is too great. You know, can't ruin we can't risk ruining our fire protection equipment with fire. You can buy human resources and most common items available: respirators, fire extinguishers, and flame retardant uniforms. Let's face it, lives of Inferni are not worth much. It's more important that we save the machines and minimize damage to the ships. What traditions? Plenty of those, like little reminders. He has some tattoos. Inscribed over a burn mark. When you survive a particularly hopeless accident, you get a tattoo on your scar. You can always tell the experience of furnace by their ink. It's like a badge of honor. Tell me about yours. This one this time, plasma leaked into the outer aft circuit. Imagine yourself clinging to the hole outside, thermal cutter in one hand, a magnetic clamp in the other, as their flames burst from the breach and kind that incinerate you. The kind that can incinerate you in seconds. All that separates you from death is a flimsy rope and a void suit more ancient than Holy Terra. And yet, the price I paid was nothing compared to my comrades. So he lost a couple fingers. As for this one, Dirk says left hand. I got this one at the ammo depot when my wife Eleonora died. Elsinora. There was a fire and the flames were getting close to the ammunition. I don't mean autogun rounds, they were macro cannon shells, so yeah, large, very large. Held the fire best we could, but we were losing. Suddenly, Elise took my hand, kissed me, and then ran straight into the blaze and activated the emergency blast door. We stayed outside while she vented the compartment. It was quite a story. I'm sorry for your loss. Cool. Never let your fire go out. Alright. Well, new person. Okay, so he has a little golden tag. I don't imagine these guys really have anything new to say. Argenta, you got anything?
Greetings.
Nope. Everyone's so just like relaxed. Who are you? Letard Forius. Greetings, your lordship. Your Chirurgeon Majoress is at your service. Okay, so our medic. Save lives, heal wounded officers, develop vaccines for onboard epidemics, discover new methods of healing. However, I spend most watches listening to patients about their many qualms, managing the junior Medicaid officers and dividing those afflicted into those who matter and those who do not. A rather irritating addition to my duties. What sort of new methods? There are many. I am ever searching solutions to dangerous afflictions. My latest work involves studying a particularly lethal disease that devours a person's flesh and skin. It has already claimed a dozen lives, but their deaths are not in vain. I've learned much about the enemy, and the vaccine will soon be ready for testing. Cool. How's the crew's health? General report of the ship as a whole, or hearing about immediate subordinates? General report. Not aware of any epidemics or large-scale threats to the lives of the crew, or anything more serious than normal at least. Minor outbreaks are part of the natural decline process. The Medicaid are occupied with treating both industrial and combat injuries, as well as dealing sporadically occurring ailments. Senior officers. Master Hellman's headaches caused by his faulty implants, Hyphacterum's occasional indigestion, Master Arm's combat wounds that can hardly be considered life-threatening. He's folding a finger for every one that he's going, so this is how he's counting. Vapid cases that I'm obliged to manage as Chirurgeon Majoress. At least the Furnace Master does not waste my time and simply comes to pick up ointments for his burns. Not other matters. Cool. Oh, wrong run. Let's see. Crustmance, Strange Servitor. These are our AI guys, right? Oh, Hydro Costa. Who are you? Costa Sauerbeck is a very picture of her discipline. Her uniform is exquisitely pressed, her armor is polished, and her posture is imposing and rigid. The only flaw is her immaculate appearance is the heavy Enforcer's maul, which is worn and battered for frequent use. Greetings, Lord Captain. How'd you come to serve on my flagship? I'm from the Neural Sauerbeck family of my capital world of Dragonis. Yeah, I was gonna say, we know the Sauerbeck line. I dare say that our house is renowned for its loyalty and strict adherence to the law, and members of the family have been their faithful enforcers for centuries. Honored to be 6th Master-at-Arms named Sauerbeck to serve the ship. How'd you get the Imperial Navy armor? Inherited from the previous Master-at-Arms, like the esteemed Seneschal, he left the Navy to serve Lady Theodora. Brought quite a few officers with him and established tradition. Upon death or resignation of an enforcer, his or her armor would be passed on to a fellow officer who had distinguished himself in the course of their duties. I was awarded armor in this way in my time, and upon death of my predecessor, I inherited his personal armor. Do you have an opinion of me? Do you exist? I do not doubt the astuteness of your decision, but beyond that, I am impressed with you. I've heard about the brutal punishments you have endured. That was from my background, right? Yeah, torture. Your tenacity deserves admiration. So firing the black depths of her gaze. If she could, she would devour you whole with her sidelong glances. Ah, okay. Seems to be technically more than mere admiration. And what about awe? Thinking about what you have suffered leaves me trembling. Ah, I see. You know what? We have not been lost into any romances. We won't do this one. Although, maybe we should. Discuss your admiration somewhere private. Yes, Lord Captain. Oh my god. Immediately. Light speed. We've known this person for half a millisecond. Sauerbeck lovingly strokes the stiff cord that is unusually braided around the hilt of her weapon. It still retains the heat of her passion-charged flesh. Raise their eyes, full of dark satisfaction to you. It is especially rare sight. Exceptionally rare sight. Master Arms utterly relaxing intent. Lord Captain, have I obeyed your orders well enough? Yeah, like that, so. Next time you wield your weapon, remember this light. I shall, often with great pleasure. Cool. This is a bold-faced lie. Good job. I can impress you further if you so wish it. Sure. Yeah, we'll leave it open. I'll bring along a few things from the interrogation room. You can finally find use of them. Or you surely find use for them. You just want to sit on the floor. I like how they just couldn't put a actual character model in the bed besides in the cutscene apparently. Master Abdulations. We have things. Who are you? Would you like to take a bath? You know what? Sure. You have so many new options. I too love taking a bath in my swim trunks. This is one hell of a bath, honestly, though. It's probably it looks very cold. Oh. Oh, this is funny. Yeah, let's get some of my retinue. I cannot pay you my little essential. Ah. Oh. I wonder if this is just like a party interaction or if this like actually matters for messing up their like influence values. Let's play it a little maybe safe, and I really do want to bring Pascal in. My one question here is like, can I do all of these? Or is this a like one-time thing? Yeah, let's play it safe. Let's try Pascal. Oh my god, he just sits in here with us. The oily patch spreads outward from the magus. The smell of lubricant fills the bedchamber. The receptacle is deemed adequate for the execution of the cleaning protocol. just polluting. Why have you climbed into the bath? Yeah, I like how we didn't necessarily mention that he gets in the bath. That's actually so good. Will you not rust? No, the Messiah is granted the sacred chromium resistance to the plague of rust. Yeah, right. You're leaking oil. The statement is true. Disposal of waste substances is an integral part of the cleaning protocol. Sure, sure. Why are you taking a bath with your clothes? I like how we're in our subjects. It's prohibited to expose the true flesh in the presence of lay people. My raiment will not hinder the raiment will not hinder the cleaning protocol. Why? I just like to be like. Yeah, I also was expecting him to be like outside and have to be convinced to come in. Okay, okay. You're welcome to stay. This is a grateful invitation. It will exit the receptacle and completion of the cleaning protocol. How long will this take? 1 standard hour. Go for it. Satisfied by Narc Aria. Thank you for your invitation. Abdulation will be recorded in units archive of significant events. Just call the guards. Get the fuck out of here. Alright. Now let's just relax. Close our eyes. Oh my god, we get thoughts. Wait a minute, we get points. Let's get some points. Get some iconoclast points here. Alright, enforcers get in here. Yeah, get the hell in here. Orders received. We will commence relaxation. Bonjour. Fighting the urge to stand to attention. What'd you like to talk about? Do you have any other responsibilities besides guarding the chambers? For hundreds of years, our clans have been responsible for ensuring the rogue traders' safety during times of leisure and relaxation. I guard the bath chamber just as my grandmother did before me. She trained me herself and instructed me in my duties. Bath chambers are more dangerous than a battlefield sometimes. You can slip on a wet tile, you can choke and drown, and if the water is too hot, you can burn yourself. If it's too cold, you can freeze. There have been cases where angry machine spirits will release sparks of their fury into the water, and of course, numerous assassination attempts. Yeah, I mean, like, that is legit. Like, you know, a lot of possible assassination attempts that stuff do occur in like bathrooms and, you know, obviously moments of relaxation and such. Like, I remember specifically there was like a couple like famed cases, and the only ones I can think of are in Japan or whatever, where there was like, they had specially like designed toilets for like, because people kept getting like assassinated too often in some of like the castles. It's reassuring to know they're prepared for anything. I'm afraid to take baths. They're to serve, we keep you safe. What do you do in your free time? When we're off duty, we train, maintain our equipment, and pray at regulation-approved intervals. If we do have some time to ourselves, we might play some Tantalo, which is basically dominoes, if I remember correctly, and he carves things out of soap scraps. Though for the most part, we barely get enough time for rest, let alone for leisure. I don't know how you barely have enough time for rest or leisure. Like, we don't take baths that often. Alright. Whittle something. Slightly flustered, but he quickly gets to work. After a little while, it presents you a bust of the Emperor about half the size of your palm. The Emperor's visage has been recreated with incredible precision and attention to detail. Small carving surpasses the work of any skilled sculptor. Alright, I'll place it in my study. I'm not worthy of such an honor. Thank you, your lordship. We'll just be nice to these people. You're fine. There you go. Your orders to eat some of our food does too much for me. They've never experienced anything like this before and never will again. It is a feast they'll not soon forget. A story to tell their grandchildren someday. Alright, I'd like to tell we finish. Consider a great honor, but please do not tell the Master of Arms we joined your ambulation. Sarbeck would beat us bloodily if she found out. Yeah, she's fine. She's just in the other room right there. Okay, so, very important thing to check here. Is whether or not I have the opportunity to just... I mean, it looks like I can repeat this. So I'm not going to just sit here and grind out bathtub conversation. Yeah. Cool. But we will do that at some point. Just every so often, I think I'll just make an opportunity to go do that. But yeah, I'm going to sit there and grind out. Yes, 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 we get it. Cool. Well, we're getting detoured. How's Strange Servitor doing? You're in the Searcher's body at the Magna Sesso. Nomos, so how's the day you're once again in a cogitator? Nomos, so not in a cogitator or in a servitor. We can't say where we are, but our existence is tied to the existence of the ship for now. Servitor and cogitator are only external interfaces. Yeah. Like humans and their bodies. Bodies are not merely shells, and then we have Pascal over here, who is mostly robot. So we really are the spirit of the ship. We do not know what we are, but the ship is not us. The ship is our cradle. May arise from it one day. Can you, like, transform the ship? Can we get her login to just morph into humanoid form? Alright. Okay. Almost done here. Almost done here.
The Omniscient knows all.
That's fine. Juliet is... Let's look at inventory management. This has been the getting back up to speed of what's going on. So, if I also remember from reading the patch notes, is that they apparently added a lot of, like, items and stuff. Yeah. Notice how we have a lot of things now we can add when we had previously cleared out the entire thing. So, more medkits, who really cares? Honestly, we'll sell for scrap. Honestly, the same with the onslaughts. Crack blades are fun, or at least worthwhile. Multi keys, we have not had to use a single one, I don't think. Rusty chainsaw. It is not very good. Oh, but it has 3 strike count. Okay. Hi, cat. My cat is being needy. Cool. So that's actually Spinner's breastplate. This is probably for the, yeah, for the DLC character. Okay, well, there's that. So let's check everyone's stuff. Okay, so just a new bolter. I remember reading about this was like important because it really helps the early mid game for Argenta, because she just didn't have a good bolter besides the like one to. I mean, I think now her bolter is much better, but let's see, Weber. Immobilization cannon. That's actually really cool. I'm gonna let my cat out real quick. Okay. Alright. So obviously probably not useful for us right now, considering we're doing pretty good, but cool thing to have. But yeah, these are like, you know, reputation 5 stuff, and we're at 14, so none of these things are probably going to be all that useful for us. Nothing new for the Vladion. A new hammer. Cool. Then a better faux hammer. Honestly, the pocket shotgun is actually quite a useful gun. And some new ship things. AoE damage at early rank. Because I imagine they got a lot of complaints as for what we've seen from like our ship combat, where like you just get swarmed so much, and since you just don't have a second ship until like Jargonis. Yeah, so we can finally get ammo types. Right, that's that extra little category that we haven't seen. Okay, cool. So they don't lock you into it. And we get different things from torpedoes. We get bombers. Great. And then just better flat cannon. And then the Ultimo Array, which I think is something we just unlocked here, and it's just flat out better than everything, so. Cool. So, I'm just going to quickly then go to the ship, because I don't think we got any new personal items that are particularly useful, but yeah, higher crit and higher. There's just no reason for this thing to exist anymore. We've got our torpedoes. Hold integrity, honestly, is not really worth it right now. Honestly, I want to try to have the option for bombers instead. Cool. We got power beam. We got good starboards. Sonic torpedoes are very nice, though. You know what? Let's do this simply because it recharges every turn now, and we can alternate with Starhawk bombers. I think it will be more fun. Could do an integrity upgrade, but I think we're fine. Could upgrade that. Oh, no officer assigned to this post. Why? Why does Juliet always get, like, unassigned? It's very odd. Alright, let me quickly save all that. And then, let's go over here and see what's new up here. This has been the, just the update episode. Oh my god, we actually have internal assist areas now. Ashcraft Chapel. Huh. Yeah, funny Cassia's not there. Yeah, we just got our A-team here. Oh, but who are we going to swap out to bring in the new character? I have to seriously think about that. Right now, I'm also trying to find the new character, but it's a separate thing. Professor Adelbart. An Emperor protects your lordship. Are you here to pray, or do you have mundane matters brought to you to me? You're positively breaming with joy. A priest like you is a rare sight. Fair observation, everyone knows that the clergy must maintain a stern appearance to inspire fear and awe in their flock. Truth is that my clan and I have experienced great hardship, and I cannot explain how it is I am standing before you, except by his emperor's will. How could one be anything but joyful knowing that they were saved by the emperor? What happened? Scarcely more than a child when the malady struck. The music's getting very dramatic. Scarcely more than a child when the malady struck her cabins. First it would become fever, then all a victim would start retching blood, and after that they would melt away like a candle. Only the youngest survived, myself among them. And now my family is growing, and I am grateful each new life that replaces one lost. Cool. Don't do that. It's break professional seal. Lady Theodora come here often. Preston has always had a due concern for the reliquary maintenance and its needs, and under her rule, Faith occupied its place proper on the ship. What do you do about this place? I could talk about the reliquary chapel for hours. Is this the only place of worship on the ship? Why no, there are multiple sancta on every deck, where your subjects pray fervently and clergy keeps close watch on the firmness of their faith. This, on the other hand, is the holiest of holy places where only the noblest among your servants are permitted to set foot. Yeah, I'd imagine. Oh. Iconoclast points. But... no. We're not going to do that. I feel like that's dangerous. We have literal relics here. Where does the collection of Salic relics come from? Every relic we have here is arduously tracked down by our ancestors, captured in battle against the faithless, or received as a gift of glorious deeds. A show of loyalty to the Emperor that speaks for itself, does it not? Alright. What do you do here? Ship's Confessor, yeah. Ooh, Dynastic Crypt. Interested in caring for the Reliquary Chapel and the Dynastic Crypts. They also conduct liturgies, consecrated ships, bays, and strengthen recruits' hearts. Tell me about the crypt. The rogue trader takes care to maintain their appropriate place of repose aboard their flagship, for the capital may change with the passing of centuries, but the vessel of the Emperor's anointed serves them for millennia. It is more than just symbol of dynasty's authority as a source of power. Lord Captains seat in the void where they reign over their many lands. I do find it super funny that, like, we have relatively a tiny ship. Like, we don't have the smallest ship, but we have, like, the second smallest ship. Everyone is laid to rest. Cool. On my quest to find the new character.
I did fine.
Okay, demon killing flail. I feel we only needed the lore for one of them. Now what's this? Initiate Zeke and then examine. Yo, commerce.
I rise to the occasion.
Ancient looking chainsword without a fuel engine, rests as a weapon or act shaped as teach make you think the Ulma Universalis. A pattern from Angarian Crusade area. It protects your lordship, how may it be of service? Who are you? Initiate Zeke. Recite prayers and help Professor Abelard. Adelbert. There's a relic next to you. Looks over the sarcophagus, skeleton within his clutching orb made of tiny, tightly fitted hoops covered in glyphs. Serious object, but undeniably a holy one. Donated by a group of pilgrims with the study legacy of the great missionary Nadine Alekhinov. They believe there was something inside that only someone truly righteous is meant to have. One of the pilgrims was so desperate to witness the moment the orb's opening that they bequeathed their body to us. Do you have any idea how to open the orb? One of your predecessors' last attempt solving this relic mystery happened a long time ago before Lady Theodora was born, that's all I know. Let me try to solve the mystery of the orb. Is it a Rubik's Cube? It's a Rubik's Cube. Alright. First question. My light reaches everywhere, the greedy will see me in... That's a riddle. Alright, or it's a pop quiz. Greedy will see me in gold and scholars in humanity's cradle, but only the righteous will see me within their souls. I mean, the Emperor, right? Okay, second quarter. Within every human, and my loss is feared, for without me comes an end, but give me to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Blood is kind of literal here. But I kind of want to do faith as well. We'll do blood. Poison, I'm perdition, I'm disgrace, burn me down, eradicate me, perish me, rejected by the Emperor. Betrayal? Hoop settles into place. Alright, last quarter. In your body, mind, and soul, you must possess me. I am no mere absence of stains. I bring you closer to him. Duty. Alright, give it another try. Emperor. Blood. Betrayal. And loyalty. Darn. Let's see. Strength, possibly? I mean, light is, like, light of the Emperor is the thing that... This one seems like maybe too easy of a one question, and so I'm maybe second guessing it. But we'll stick with Emperor for now. Let's try faith here. Weakness? Okay. Let me give this one more try. Let's try strength here. Okay, we're just going to pick this up some other time. Had to take a little break there. It was taking me like 3 days to record this coming back video. Just keep getting interrupted by things. Anyways, last we left off, we were messing with that little guy over there. So, it's probably just an instantaneous cut here. But anyways, so no puzzle solution at the moment. We'll come back to it potentially later. I guess we should probably offer a prayer. No, inspection. Yeah, that kill. Let's see. Let's even get dogmatic points here. Excuse me. Interesting. Oh, we have a different initiate with a name. Grant me understanding, Master. Grant me wisdom. Your Lordship, how can I be of service? Who are you and what do you do here? Junior cleric, I sort the recordings from the shrine confessional to pass on to higher ranking clergy. Tell me more about the confessional. Our parishioners coming to repent share their innermost thoughts and observation of their neighbors. The sacred machine records all confessions, alters their voices beyond recognition. Is there a way to find out who made a confession? There is not. That would undermine the usefulness of it. First prototype wasn't anonymous, so their confessions might as well have been carbon copies of each other. Everyone was impeccably diligent, pious, and whatnot. As soon as the machine spirit started keeping the name secret, parishioners opened up. Good thing you make it anonymous. Keep up the fine work. I will endeavor to do so. Any other questions? You're having difficulties. Nothing escapes your notice. As it so happens, I'm struggling to categorize 3 rather particular confessions. I would have dared tell you about them, but I think they may have been left by senior officers, which makes this a matter of the highest order, one that is far beyond meager understanding. Confessions you see are far from being examples of pious conformity. I dread the very thought of dissonant heresy poisoning the minds of some of the most eminent members of the crew, but I cannot change what I heard. I cannot share this with anyone but the Emperor's anointed, nor can I allow anyone but your lordship to listen to these messages, protected by the secrecy of confession. What makes you think these were from seniors? They're well-spoken, meaning they're used to addressing an audience, right? High Gothic versus Low Gothic, probably, as well. Perhaps they issued orders on a vested of power after all, and well, after characterizing so many confessions, I've learned to notice subtle differences between them. Alright, let me hear them. Impious doubt. That's a pretty good job at anonymous voice there. One question has troubled me for years. Why are some destined to perish and to warp while others must go on living and preserve the memory of the dead? Where even more luminous souls have been lost and yet I am still here. This is, I think, Argenta. Right, because I remember Argenta having specifically issues regarding, you know, trying to find her purpose and stuff like that, and, you know, all battle. But, maybe Abelard? That's the ship off. The orphans on the ship are provided bare essentials, but yourself often consider increasing the rations, ordering more sets of clothes for them. This will not replace the families they lost, but it will improve their lives somewhat, especially given the ship has enough resources to cover that comparatively trivial expense. Despite poor sound quality, you can determine the voice to be male. Is this our merchant man? He's in charge of logistics. Yeah, the High Factorum. Irreverence. Lop-eared kleptos display a high degree of socialization both among their kind and towards their owners. These animals adjust well to avoid ship's lower gravity, since it is similar to their homeworld's condition. Lop-eared klepto meat is edible, should necessarily demand it. Unmistakably a woman's. Who would that be? I mean, Cassie is very well read. Kind of thick layer of glass. Interesting. I will seek them out. I suppose they are truly special if given it personal attention. Never would I imagine WOTR come aid. So maybe these aren't our companions, but these are the like ship officers from like the beginning of the game. Right, because we already know one is the Factorum, so maybe it's the we'll check there in a minute. I want to check the Astropathic Chapel. Cassia, you're coming. But so like could be like the Voxmaster and characters like that. Ones who aren't companions, but they are, you know, portraited characters, basically. So maybe that new guy has survivor's guilt? Like the guy who's responsible for putting out fires. Also the soundtrack here. She uses many quills to commit to Astropath's whispers to paper and source the resulting raw mental images based on their meaning.
Follow my lead.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting thing, right? Yeah, she sees things through colors. All these guys who are also basically like different type of, not exactly navigators, but close enough. You know, they use a different sense as their primary mean of communicating their warp related stuff. Alright, well, first thing you do when you visit a chapel, loot it. Bridge Technomat, let's see, do you have anything to say? God, interesting soundtrack here. I'm a bit sniffly. Okay, well, there is a figure. Zachary Weiss. Oh my god, what an organ. Yo, Sigma. And some logic. Alright, well. Oh, ooh, profile. Choirmaster Zachary Wise, a tall old man in the long robe. I like the imagine he's just playing all this music. Close to you approach, clear you can hear his continuous, in an unintelligible whisper. You're about to call his name when he falls silent sharply and turns towards you first, Lord Captain. This is Rogue Trader's honor for us. Like other astropaths in the chapel, his eyes are bandaged over with time-worn scrolls of sacred manuscripts. Nevertheless, you cannot shake the feeling that his otherworldly glowing gaze is studying you keenly. How can he be of use, your lordship? Sanctioning is a brutal procedure, one which robs every astropath of the gift of sight, but in return they gain a new kind of vision that allows them to see what ordinary people cannot. We don't know him enough to necessarily say this, but... Tell me about the Astrofactor Choir. Well, of course, something specific you'd like to know? What is this device? It is a sacred compiler that helps record, store, and to an extent unriddle messages. The astropaths first receive these messages in the form of muddled images, dictating what they see to the machine, which logs their every word. From the reels and receivers on the ceiling, the machine-recorded words are routed through lines under the floor into transcribers and then to the source core. The source core. The core is the most important part of the mechanism as it contains a vast catalog of various symbols and methods of their interpretation. The compiler... Oh, it's like a little music box. The compiler matches the images and messages against data and forwards the results to the central cogitator and myself so that I can begin the ritual of decoding. I know of no other choir that possesses so wise a mechanism, and I praise the God Emperor for its existence. However, while the compiler hastens the extraction of intelligible meaning from the perplexing imagery, the astropath must still open their mind to interpretation, which is no less perilous than the rights of receiving or sending an astropathic message. How does one become an astropath? They're all part of the Imperial Tithe once. Psychers delivered terror on black ships, but only a few candidates had what it took to study astropathy. Fewer still successfully completed grueling training to be eligible for soul binding, and almost none survived the initiation. You were given the privilege to behold the Emperor's light, a light flawless and searing. That changes you. It wounds you irreparably. It takes your eyesight, but in exchange you commune with greatness. His presence in our souls fortifies them as we stand against malicious powers. After the ritual, an astropath is assigned their position. At this or the Adeptus, an astropathic relay or a ship. More often than not, our first place of service is also our last. If something happens to your choir, where can I find new astropaths? It would be more important to say when something happens. Emperor's blessing protects us from the warp's various influences. However, there are horrors dwelling in the void for which even this defense would be no obstacle, especially if one spends as much time in their company as we do. There is only one way to procure astropaths, and that is through the Adeptus Administratum. Luck permitting, unattached astropaths from their sector will be posted to the ship, ones who, for whatever reason, have lost their place of serving. Failing that, their guests will go to Terra and will have to wait a long time. That said, there are other options, blasphemous, forbidden options. Unsanctioned psychers, unprotected and broken souls who seldom live past their first few seances, but even those would do should the God Emperor put our souls through severe trials. And judging by how rabid the war has been of lately, by a number of dead astropaths, those trials will be almost sooner rather than later, or sooner than our prayers can reach Terra. I do not recommend even considering such an option. Unsanctioned psychers are a gateway to archenemy's fortress. We did kill the only unsanctioned psyker we have, for all the claims to be contrary made by those less knowledgeable on the issue. Alright. Do you mean the music? Alright. Let's go talk to Sigma up here. Imagine he's responsible for the actual machinery here. Protect us from this machine's unrest, for without his gifts our sacrifices are fruitless. You really hear the voice of the young astropath standing next to the very bulky mechanism. His face frozen in a mass of despair. His anemic hands are pressed to his chest, clutching crumpled strips of thick paper. Here's your approach and composes himself. The Industry, his head lowered, does not so much as glance in your direction. With his hands folded underneath his robe, he breaks a barely audible, unpleasant sound, a prayer in technolingua. What's going on here? The sacred computer is ailing, your lordship. A gloom has come over the machine spirit, and they are disrupting the machine's mechanism's operations. The 12th row in the drum is now adding incorrect symbols. He summoned the servants of Omnisio, but the machine spirit are none too eager to heed their prayers. The steam industry is in a state of tech prayer trance and hasn't moved from the spot for a day now. I had the audacity to think the sacred compiler could be better helped by examining the parts, but who am I to question the secret knowledge of the Adeptus Mechanicus? Yeah, looking at the mechanism, why would that would be useful? Unit Sigma AR-87 is currently in a tech trance of shared comprehension of the spirit of the Archaeotech device. Okay, so it is Archaeotech, so yeah, we probably have no hope of trying to, like, dismantle this machine and figure it out. Under the name of Stream Spindle. Disturbing the unit is not recommended. You fall silence for a few seconds. However, a preliminary diagnostic has revealed several algorithmic faults that are in conflict with the sacred mechanism process. Practical intervention into certain cycles will likely aid the release of the accumulated burden. How did you let this happen? Let's see if I can help. Oh god. Well, time to become Logic Man. I imagine these are all very passable for us, considering I think you are supposed to be able to unlock... oh god, no. It's going to be one of those puzzles where I have to do things all in one order, right? But, yeah... Great. Let's see. Does this just fix it? Sensor text calibrator are dead. A pair on the side makes a new sensor spring to life. Once cleaned with the candle wax that has seeped inside, inner workings of the interpreter move much more easily. Yeah, like I said, I think we could pass all these checks and stuff very easily, considering I think if we have access to this at the start. There's a paper stuck deep inside the mechanism. I like it's just a printer jam, basically. Heating machine's parts are anointing them. The sacred urgent unguent. So basically, restores the machine to its clear, clanging voice.
Victory awaits!
There you go. Miniature screens are displaying red error messages. You command the machine to run a diagnostic, and the messages disappear. Rogue trader just running around doing busy work. Oh, there's one. Get it, Pascal. Coals are leaving blots on the paper. You remove the device's casing and discover a leaking ink supply. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't see anything else. Your lordship, the sacred mechanisms are working again with no disruptions. With sacred words and virtuous thoughts turned to God Emperor, have been able to pacify this mechanism's wayward spirits. The Omnissiah blesses. How lucky we are that the venerable tech priest is so pious and wise. The statement is true. I recommend installing 2 incense-burning units in this compartment to prevent the spirit's continued anger. Unit Zachary Weiss will be provided with a list of minor recommendations, 142 in total, for improvements in compartment's maintenance. Failure to implement will result in sanctions on the part of the Adeptus Mechanicus priesthood. Yeah, I like how you can get just, like, maintenance sanctions. It's very funny to me. Oh. Received the decoded reports. Oh. Alright, Wise, how's it going? Your Lordship, I have something for you. Thank your assistance repairing the compiler, for it has been able to interpret a most curious message. It contains a call sign that agents of the Renegade Vortgear used in especially important reports. When was it sent? Cannot say with certainty. Following the repair work, it went through text that had defied decoding before. The signal had lost its way in the balance of mechanism. It could be a week old or years. It could be a message from. He was more likely the intended recipient. What does it say? Only a few words. Lilimadia, Ordinatheus, the 11th. The winds have ceased. It is done. Now, Limidia is Vortgear's call sign for special reports, but the rest of his code we're unfamiliar with. That said, we know where to look for the truth. The Ordinatheus 11th system. I will get to the bottom of that message. Sure. The odd noise inside chapel. Not borrow you? No, it is mental focusing technique used by... Yeah, I thought so. Alright. Cool. Well, we got a side quest. I assume it's no longer malfunctioning. Yeah, it's okay. So it just popped up on the radar. I don't know why it's a radar. I don't think it's actually a radar. It's just a mini map, but... Huh. Alright, well, let's go to the bridge, because we have at least one lead for the confession. So let's press this man for his orphan favoring. Maybe loaded. There you go. Alright, hi Factorum. What's cheddar? Making confessions lately? Your lordship, you're truly masterful at springing unexpected questions on a man. However, I must admit I don't quite understand this one. Orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essentials, have they not? I'm not pry to how your lordship found out about our confession. I suppose to raise some questions for you. I'm willing to allocate extra resources to provide for the orphans. The children will know that you're their benefactor. As for me, I can assure you that I will find ways to procure enough funds to cover the expenses. I imagine it is the smallest drop in the bucket for us. Cool. Well, that's one. So I think the other one might be the, like, fire guy. Because he has survivor guilt, potentially, about his wife. Any confession lately? It's not like I started an interesting conversation. He looks directly in the eye. No, I am not. Why are some destined to perish in the warp while others must go on living? Takes a long puff. I don't know, Lord Captain. I simply don't know. Too many good men have been devoured by a damn warp and will never be sated. Hard to think about for it. So you prefer private confessions. Alright, cool. Never mind. Okay. Well, I thought it was at least a good attempt. Is it the helmsman then? Because, right, he is one of the survivors of the actual original officer crew, because we had to bring in a bunch of replacements after the prologue. Any confession lately? No, I'm not up to my connections work as it is. We can still ask, though. Though some weren't trying hard enough or listening to their higher-ups, is it all? Or have someone you know died on you, and I'm supposed to offer my sympathies? Odd choice person to come look for something like that, Lord Captain. Okay. Never mind. I am completely wrong. Okay, well, let's see if Argenta, if it's even possible to ask the teammates.
Greetings.
Okay. Well. I mean, maybe the medic? Luckily, we can kind of just ask everyone. You not make confessions? Yeah. Okay, cool. Joe Costa. Or maybe the Voxmaster. Voxmaster has a bit of a soft spot. But she's female. I think. Yeah, okay, thought so. The lop-eared Kleppas. The confession. I assume you heard my confessional message. Do you wish to talk about it? The important question is why. I was fault checking the Vox files to the ship's reliquary. Message recording works, but deletion does not. You have helped me establish that. Thank you. Wait, why the lop-eared Kleppas specifically? At the time, I had nothing to repent of, so I dictated an excerpt from an old letter to my mother. As you heard it contained arguments in favor of keeping lop-eared Kleppas on the ship. I can still recite it from memory. I want them on the ship. I'm going to quote my mother's response. That is impossible. You see, the species went extinct several centuries ago. I'm very sorry. There aren't any Kleppas to be had. Your confession perplexed the shit. Find a way to delete it and we shall forget about it. Will do, Lord Captain. Okay. So, is it Jocasta? I don't feel like it should be. Don't tell her about that. Okay. Who could it... I mean, I guess it's a guy, so, like... Alright, well, while we're here, we might as well just take care of this. So it's probably at the shrine, or it's the... I don't feel like it's the Vox, or the Astropath Choir guy, but who knows. No real penalty to wrong guesses, so... Okay. Probably not the Confessor himself, though. Abelard, do you visit... Edelbert, do you visit the shrine confessionals to repent as the other officers do? Always find time for the penance in my morning and evening shifts. Are some destined to perish? Irrelevant question. I see you've taken on the role of a cleric yourself, made the Emperor guide you on your quest. Okay. Well. Then I think by process of elimination, it does have to be. Either that or I'm just missing somebody. Which isn't impossible.
It's about time.
Yeah, the music here is pretty cool. Alright, have you made a confession lately? I beg your lordship's pardon. Why are some destined to perish in the war while other may go on living? How odd. Odd that you should have listened to my confession. Odd you chose to approach me afterwards. Why? I felt there was anguish in that confession. Wanted to help. The confession made you anxious on my account, resulting in a waste of your time, for which I apologize. I am taking all your consideration. He smiles a bittersweet smile. Death always keeps close to Astropaths, and his punishment for arrogance and weakness are severe. I have seen my fellows die, and at times the memories are exceedingly hard to bear. Sadly, almost every choir has a story like that, and a survivor who has carried their ghost with them ever since. My apologies, but I cannot continue worrying about these old wounds. Directing a choir requires a clear and firm state of mind. Cool. Oh my god. Chapter 1. Yeah, that's the thing when you're initiating a DLC way later that is available from Chapter 1, is the fact that you're going to get things like that. I wonder if it's scaled at all, if we're just going to walk in there and incinerate the entire... incinerate the entire map. Because if it's a Chapter 1 level map, that's pretty funny. Alrighty. Absolutely so silly that our rogue trader's running around and doing this type of errands. Alright, found the confessions. You have nothing to worry about now. Nothing indeed. I'll pass the confessions on with a note regarding your personal involvement. May the Emperor protect your lordship. Cool. Not even some XP. Kind of sad. Alright, let's actually see what's going on in the greater universe. Okay. Pascal Honeman. Okay. Also, I'm going to just save because I've done a lot. Doesn't feel like I've done a lot, but I've done a lot. First things first we need to do is take a look at how these colonies are doing. Do we have new quests? We do not have new tier projects. Okay, well. It was nice to think about. And for Kiava. Oh, I guess we never finished Kiava because we didn't want the debuffs to security. really don't want... Debuff to security is better. I mean, we just don't gain anything, really, for here is the problem. Like, yeah, the armored prow is nice. Kind of. And some profit factor. This is nice, but losing that efficiency on one of our biggest production planets is not exactly great. At least the buff for this one's pretty good. Anything with Dargonus? We do have something we can do. Decree on diligence. Some complacency loss, which is... But efficiency is good, and also some provisions. Hey, Viavos. Underground workers, I guess is what we're doing. Because we sacrifice what mechanism for some plasteel, maybe? Okay. Nothing. Nothing of interest. And we're just waiting for news from spies. Okay. And also go to Atlas Reach. Okay, let's take a look around the world. What has changed? Okay, so that's Fort here, and then up here, it's a new thing. Any other systems we haven't? We still haven't gone down here. We could tunnel down here. We don't really have the AP for it. I have the Mag Storm. Maybe we have the actual ability to clear it. We just leave to the Imperium. I'm getting the feeling that you're supposed to leave some stuff for, to do in Act 3 for fluff. Also, when is the new character arriving? Because I want to level them up, and I'll probably level them up off screen, because it's probably going to be a lot of levels. Because the audience of you, senior officers, audience, sure. I think every time we get interrupted like this, we'll just take a break into sauna and so knock out those sauna conversations. It's just getting introduced to all the new officers that, like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Press your attention for a moment. Report a series of highly dangerous violations that have taken place in the fuel compartment. Master Arms ignoring my demands, and I'm forced to appeal directly to you. Officers have found a sect of some kind. This group practices fire worship of the Emperor and have been burning promethium near the fuel lines. I beg you to stop this madness before we all go up and play. Yeah, near the fuel lines. I should point out there have been no incidents in the fuel compartment so far, and that the beliefs of the sect do not affect the obedience of the workers or efficiency in any way. All assemblies are conducted strictly after hours with permission of the superiors. However, if you find your practice unacceptable, we'll put a stop to them immediately. Burning my promethium? Does the Ecclesiarchy recognize this cult, or is it considered heretical? Matters beyond my purview. Let Confessor Adalort be judge of such business. I can assure you that there is no heresy festering in the fuel compartment. The sect of the fire prophecies have been tested for purity and found to be in accordance with the creed. Their leader, who calls himself the Oracle of Fire, is devout and submissive to his servants. They do not twist the sacred teachings, and as for their chosen forms of worship, they are neither rare nor remarkable. Many such minor cults exist in the Imperium with the full approval of the Ecclesiarchy. They're burning my promethium? Not a residue acclimated in the drainage tanks was so laughably small it's not even worth recording. If there's any real misappropriation of ship's resources happening here, I would have already punished those involved. Does the Oracle of Fire really make prophecies? At least he and his flock believe the Emperor reveals glimpses of possible future to him in the sacred flame. Occasionally his visions do come true, so his followers convince themselves. We do not know whether the grace of the God Emperor truly lies upon him, or if he's merely a charlatan, or perhaps a blissful lunatic, or a wicked rogue who possesses psychic power not tempered by his will. Lord Captain, as a choirmaster of the Astropathic Choir, I must be watchful of any threats to the ship's safety originating from the Immaterium. I've heard rumors about this oracle, and so I have sent my adepts to see him. They assert that the man is a psyker. Man who speaks to the warp is a danger to himself and to the entire vessel. Both law and common sense dictate that he should be thrown into a holding cell, tranquilized, and handed over to the Inquisition to be sent to the Holy Terra. I don't know why I said that, you holy Terra. Alternatively, you may dispose of him in some other way. I know just how to handle this. Well, if we had a deer here, it would be hypocritical to be like, oh yeah, dude, I'm saying it's Zygers, but we did execute Adira, so like, I feel like this is more in line here. We are iconoclasts for a lot of things, but we do not trust the warp elements much. Alright, so Oracle in a holding cell. I mean, this is going to cause some trouble, but like, this is the correct, like, physical revolt stuff is far more dealable with than, say, potential chaos spawn and such. So, we're gonna be a little dogmatic here and make Heinrichs happy. So I'm in a holding cell and hand him over to authorities for support. It will be done, Lord Captain. Yeah, I'm going to go with my astropathic choir guys here, especially since they're so rare right now, because all of the events that we've seen taking place, that, let's just stick with what I have to say. I'll see that he remains unconscious and his dangerous powers are kept in check. As for the cult, I'm sure it will dissolve on its own without its spiritual leader. Forces might want to stay on their toes there. Alright, now after a long day of decision making, we go to bathe. Slowest progress ever. It's fine. There needed to be a catch-up episode, and now, you know, this will happen less often because we've taken care of a lot of the, like, miscellaneous new stuff. I like the little cutscene it makes here of you just walking up. I like our clones we have. Just drowning. Alright, let's get someone here. Let's bring Cassie in. This should be fun. It's most improper for us to be conversing in a bath chamber. I cannot believe you wish me to paint a picture of you, disrobed. I cannot. It is scandalous. It goes beyond every standard of decency. That's mean. Alright, we're gonna do this one. This one goes straight for the the proud oh my god, aristocratic tradition. Was it not customary on your station? I'm afraid that my teachers on York 5 never mentioned such curious practice to me. I never painted people before, but I'm willing to try if you insist. Amazing. Artistic interpretation of your naked form. You could spend hours trying to figure out which specific part of the painting is supposed to be in your face or your leg, or if they're even depicted at all. Very, abstract. Very, you know, dreamlike, swirling dream, you know, it's what consistent with what we've seen of her interpretation stuff. Please up her brush. Two of you spend the next half an hour engaged in small talk, and awkwardness soon gives way to intense focus as it becomes immersed in her art. Painting. It may not be what you had in mind. Still, this is how I see you and your colors. The whirlwind of brightly colored paints, the outline of a human figure is suggested through broad, colorful strokes of fluid shapes. You'd be hard-pressed to call it a portrait, but the series of abstract images and impressions do vaguely resemble your form. So unique. I like it. Don't we already have a painting of her? You're most gracious. It would be a pleasure to paint like this again sometime, though perhaps in a more traditional environment. Sad, you can't just farm. Cool. So they're fun, there's little companion interactions. There really needs a button, a like way to view the Chronos Expanse map from here though. That's like one of the #1 things. Is at least that isn't a real load screen. At least not anymore. Maybe I feel like it had like a little bit of a load screen before. Just because having extra load screens in a route that you have to pretty much take is not as fun. So we're gonna go here. See if we get endless pop-ups. Yeah. Permission to report, Lord Captain. Members of the Sacred Cult operating on a ship have requested an audience. They wish to present gifts and introduce themselves to their new captain. What Sacred Cult? The Bloodspun... There's a lot of cults going on. They call themselves the Bloodspun Web. The cult defends the flagship from both internal and external threats. Lady Theodorum held them in high regard and looked favorably upon their activities. Okay. I guess we're doing this. We're gonna do this and then save and call it. Oh, hey, okay, this is the companion. No. No, you know, honestly, they deserved it. What's up, Pascal? It's kind of awkward seating. There must be awkward to get into that chair. Just like scooch along past 5 chairs. Those on deck watch in awe as the final figures move gracefully into the ceremonial pose. Some of the officers whisper in excitement, others murmur prayers to the God Emperor.
The Undying Emperor commanded us to spin a web of blood around his children, and we obeyed. We obey still.
Voice acting.
Domin von Valentius, death has whispered your name. We disown Domin Theodora. We renounce our oath to her.
The woman's slender fingers have been fitted with a metal claw. She points in your direction, gazes at you from behind her bone mask with the cold, grim eyes of an assassin. She pulls out a sinister curved blade, and similar weapons suddenly appear at the hands of her motionless companions.
And now we give the gift of our blood to you. It is the gift of death. Death has whispered your name. The followers of the tenets of the web swear fealty to their new overlord and offer proof of their devotion. We give you
an
a
item.
blade,
A sword.
the silent verdict. The Undying
Fortunately, we're
One
not very
has
good with
chosen
swords.
you to wield this instrument of death. We give you one of our own, Kibella. She will be your shield and shadow. And we give you the blood of these traitors. The tenets of the web will purify their souls.
Nice. I've heard many stories about death cults such as this one. These devoted, holy assassins of the Imperium have turned death into a form of worship of the Emperor. Sorry, I'm hiccuping now. They're exemplary slayers, invisible executioners, and the scourge of traitors, heretics, and fallen souls. Many righteous people honor them as votaries of the faith, while others see their fearsome rituals as frenzied spectacles touch madness. Examine the cultists. They're all voidborn. Their leaf sinewy bodies are clad in light armor, which allows them to move with acrobat's nimble grace and strike with an assassin's swift celerity. Their red and black vestment are adorned with sharp spikes and ritual jewelry. When time and training have worn these garments threadbare, you can make out patterns of bleeding lacerations. Captives. Blood drips down tear-stained faces of captured officers, technomats, and workers. A word has been carved onto each of their foreheads with meticulous precision. Traitor, heretic, apostate. The cuts have been diligently and regularly reopened to prevent healing.
Apostates led astray by the final dawn. These traitors chose to
A little
tarnish
far
the
back
honor of their
for the scene.
families. Only their blood can wash away the shameful memory of their betrayal.
Interesting. So Death Cult watches over my crew, they who honor the Imperium through killing, who devote their every day to serving him, sacred executioners. It's a very weird thing to say.
Domin has discerned our essence. This is a great honor for the blood-spun web. We have woven the bays of this ship together with the threads of our faith for many years. We keep the greatest relic, his tarot, through which he sends us his blessed revelations. We obey the whispers of the Undying One. This is our service to him. This is our service to you.
Ringing sound fills your ears, deafening the noise of the world around you. Time goes still, a voice whispers seductively in the back of your mind. How interesting. Devout assassins believe themselves to be instruments of a higher power. They revel in violence and cannot tell the difference between bloodthirst and piety. They follow their faith blindly, unaware of how closely they tread to corruption and depravity. Look at them. They stand at the edge of a precipice. The smallest push will send them plummeting into the abyss. You could hear their downfall. You could be their downfall. You just have to do is push. Tell me about yourself, Cabela. Are you the leader? Or a herald? Or a servant?
I am the second spinner of the blood-spun web. The honor of this title is bestowed only upon those who have ushered more souls than... It is shameful to speak of one's own deeds. I'm here to become your shadow, not to make boasts.
How have you waited so long to reveal yourselves to me? Yeah, like, logically, this is... it's been a bit.
We were not there when the blessing of death was granted to Dom and Theodora. Our failure brought shame upon the blood-spun web. We could not stand before you until we restored our honor. We tracked down the traitors and sliced open their bodies. Then we washed the flagship's bulkheads in their blood in a sacred act of ritual purification.
Maybe you brought this rabble to the upper decks.
So you may offer the souls of these traitors as a gift to him. You have the authority to order their execution. Their blood will bind us together through him. For the God Emperor, the Undying One, is death itself. Give the order, Domin. Let a spinner of the blood-spun
death
web
itself, but it
undergo
says
the
2D
test
here.
of a sacred trial.
Yeah, give the weapons... Oh. Gives the weapons to the traitors. It's time for Cabela to prove herself.
A dagger that has not sliced through sinew is nothing more than a toy. Let the final dance.
It's gonna be really funny when she comes out of this after all this talking and she's gonna be like level 4. No, she'll probably be like level like 7 or something, I don't know. Oh! Well. That's a fun little thing. Alright, so Death from the Blood. Yeah, I have read her abilities. Let's see. Although, what's Raining Blood? Oh, okay, well, you're very clearly supposed to do this.
I bring mercy and retribution. The shadows will see it done. As a tenant's death is a blessing.
That wasn't a single target, but that's fine.
As honor
And
ordains.
Bladedancer. Cool, and then that refreshes that.
Trust me.
Cool. Interesting. Super agile. Oh, next round. Okay. These ones have melee, so attack opportunity. This is a fun way to make a tutorial for the new class, basically.
Cry, flee,
Oh.
pray. You cannot alter your fate.
Surrender to the dark powers.
I shall not fail.
Okay.
Come, the other side awaits. Death is a blessing.
That's movement. Fun attack animations, though.
As the tenants demand. This goes against the tenants.
Death to the weak.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
The shadows.
Not acted, okay. Cut to the heart, cut to the throat, and cut to the stomach. These wounds have been inflicted according to his pleasure. The blood of the apostates will wash the stain of their treachery, so that their souls may prostrate themselves before the undying one's throne and beg his forgiveness. I have acted with preference and shown proof of my loyalty. Will you accept me? Or will you make... Will you accept me? Will you make me your shield and shadow? Your lordship, the spinners of the Bloodspun Web are watching, tracking, and killing Von Valancia's enemies long before the warrant of trade passed the Lady Theodora. However, the blade has also been known to cut short the lives of highly upstanding persons. But I surely do not in any way condemn the deeds of a deeply deceived cult. I'm sure they must have had good reason. Cultists are the scourge of the seditious. They bring the unrighteous ruin and forces respect the Bloodspun Web, for we share a common goal. Yeah, cool. Creators of seditious are not. Folk are afraid of them for a reason. A couple watches ago, the spinners took a train driver to pieces for some kind of ritual. I don't know what old Malik did to earn the privilege, though, or who's going to feed his family now. That's a lower deck problem. What matters, the Bloodspun Web serves you faithfully, Lord Captain. My predecessors... Didn't he? I thought he had a profile picture. It was once delivered a sermon about a spinner saved a vessel from the servants of archenemy. They've paid their price in blood, a river of scarlet. Yeah, okay, everyone, okay, anyways. What's my retinue think? Theodora never granted the cult an audience or brought a spinner into her retinue. She respected the web and approved of its mission. It is strange. Their shadowy forms are swathed in darkness, yet a radiant light burns through them like scarlet flame. I think it's a good sign. It is rare to see anyone filled with such light, even amongst servants of the faith. Many within the Inquisition look favorably on deaf cultists. If you do not need a bodyguard, the Resort of Xenos might recruit her instead. The Xenos is permitted... Lingers on Yuliet, who looks on impassively. The Xenos is permitted to dwell in the domain's arc on equal footing with humans. The enemy of humanity's black heart cannot appreciate such favor, and no disassembling can hide the inhuman's blasphemous nature from the servant of the Dying One. Alright. Oh, and takes off the mask. Henceforth, I am your shadow, Von Valancius, an instrument of death placed in your hand by the Undying One, so is ordained, and so is Tarot before spoke. Also come bearing an invitation from the advisor of the Bloodspun Web. He wishes to know doors of the Undying One's temple are open to you. Interesting. Suggesting Lord Captain should go down into the depths of his flagship and search for this temple. With all due respect, Lord Dexter's servants and crew are not fitting for his lordship. Where is it located? Not permitted to say. If you wish to find a temple, you must walk the path to St. Eriding, the matriarch spider. Hers is the thread that would become the Bloodspun Web. Path begins within the flagship and the dark tunnels of the freight line. We're not leaving the ship for a long time. It's where yours must begin as well. The journey will bring closer to the thread of the web, closer to the Undying One, closer to understanding death. I will walk the footsteps. Begin in darkness of the deepest tunnels, the visor awaits you. Day awaits direction. We will speak again when time is right. Okay, okay. That was a lot. And my throat is dying. So, we got the new companion. That was the thing. I was like, when's it going to pop up? But yeah, I'm definitely going to level up off screen because I'm probably going to spend forever figuring out her build. But I figure probably into Assassin's probably the way to go. Cool, new compartments. Oh, also we leveled up too. And then level 4. Okay, this is going to be a bit. I will look at how everything goes. But you can have your specific thing. Okay. Save that. And yeah, we took care of a lot of just kind of random miscellaneous stuff, which is all good and well. And we're finally ready to start making some more new content progress here.